title of her 5 to 7 minute speech is A Tribute to My Superhero Son, Sheila Smith.
I'm going to use this. A letter to my superhero son, Anthony. We are gathering here today on your birthday weekend to celebrate you and thank you for the tremendous joy you've brought into our lives. It started at an early age. You were just 3 years old and you learned to speak very clearly and loudly when your father and I decided it was time to take you to church every week. So we'd take you to Mass, then we'd take you to IHOP. Take you to Mass, take you to IHOP. Well, about the 4th week into this routine, he looks up at me and he goes, in the middle of the quietest part of the Mass now, hey, Mom, Dad, you think we could skip this part and go get some pancakes? Now, you know what it's like. You're not supposed to laugh in church. Everyone around us couldn't stop laughing. About 4 weeks, a few months later, your sister was born. And that's when you loved to put on your Superman outfit. You came to the hospital dressed as Clark Kent, because I bought you a little blue suit. You had your Clark Kent outfit. You decided you were going to be Superman and check out your sister. So you flew around the hospital room for a few minutes. We could go to the next page. You flew around, came over to the bed and went, I wanted a brother. But you grew to love your sister, and she grew to love you. In fact, she became your protector. Fast forward, at age 12, you were diagnosed with a brain tumor, which caused your epilepsy. Your sister was always by your side. But Anthony, as you grew up, you didn't let it define you. Humor was your superpower. When you got to high school and you were bullied, people would drool walking by you. You said, Mom, don't worry about it. It's not that bad. I can always get my GED, good enough diploma. And years later, when you finally got your seizures under control, you were able to drive for a little while. For about 6 months, you had a car and you were driving until you couldn't drive anymore. You had a fender bender. But again, your superpower was humor. You called me up. You said, I was in an accident. Mom, don't worry. Don't worry. You said, there's some good news. No one was hurt, and I hit a deadbeat. What do you mean you hit a deadbeat? Well, I said, it's my fault. I knew it was my fault, Mom, because I had one of my seizures and I lost it a little bit. I said, dude, he said, I got out of the car and said, we'll call the police now. And the guy said, dude, don't call the police. I got a warrant out for my arrest. There again, your superpower was humor. But you matured, you truly became a Superman. I'm so proud of how you continued to persevere. You became a medical assistant, an x-ray tech. And then just this last year, you got a nutrition license and you were building a website. You were an accomplished drummer, very good artist. I like how you always made fun of my age and drew fancy pictures. Dirt, older than. Big mounds of dirt. No matter how old I was, I would get that card. We shared a love of silly movies and music from the 80s. But over the years, the seizures worsened. You weren't able to keep any of those jobs. You used to say to me, Mom, I'm really good at getting jobs. I just can't keep them. You'd say to me, Oh, they saw me seize a little bit. I got about 10 days left. But in 2020, you finally said, I'm going to the Mayo Clinic. You got me to move here to California first, but then you said, I got to go to the Mayo Clinic, Mom. Nobody else seems to be able to help me. So you bravely elected to have brain surgery. And even then, you entertained us with your super humor. You woke up and you had a scar that went, when you showed me the scar that went all the way down the side of your head, you said, look, Mom, this is so cool, this scar. I can walk down any dark alley and no one's going to jump me. Now we're going to go to the next photo, please. Finally, I'm so sorry, son. You came back to the Mayo Clinic this past year because the last surgery wasn't successful. But I'm sorry, son, that I wasn't there to protect you from that last seizure. But to know, Anthony, that you are now out of that tortured body, keeping everyone in heaven laughing, gives us all some degree of comfort. Just remember, we love you, miss you, and you will always be our Superman. Love, Mom.